Ladies and gentlemen, it is the week. It is Expo Week. In about 48 hours from you seeing this, assuming you're seeing it right when it goes live, have you liked, subscribed, and hit the bell notification so you can see this when it goes live? In about 48 hours, the Mining Disrupt Expo is going to be kicking off in a major, big, massive way in Dallas, Texas at the Irving Convention Center. That's right. We are in Expo Week. It is Monday, November 10th, 2025, and this is going to be one for the books. I was at the Fort Lauderdale Expo earlier this year, and this one is shaping up to be even bigger, and that was the biggest one yet. Oh boy, I cannot wait. I'm going to be moderating at least a couple panels. I'm a little bit apprehensive, a little bit excited, a little bit looking forward to it. Before Fort Lauderdale, I hadn't ever done any real stage work, so that was kind of a new game for me. But by the end of those couple of days, I was actually looking forward to getting back up on stage. My nerves had faded, and I was in my element. I was feeling it. I was feeling a lot more comfortable. Let's jump over to, whoa, hang on. Remember, this is where you come for financial entertainment and education, not advice. See what I did there? All right, let's jump over to the numbers and take a look at things. We are at a price of 102,000. Things dipped under 100,000 there for just a little bit there. Did you catch some when it was in the 99 range? Priority and anytime fees are still looking good. The mempool has 58,000 transactions. Things are looking real healthy. We've got 24,000 nodes online, and we are still over 1,000 exahash. We are in the zettahash range. The message this week is that things are going to get a little bit goofy. And when I say a little bit, I'm being hyperbolic. I mean real goofy when they turn the government back on. Here's Luke Groman. Reminder that Bitcoin is simply, quote, one of the last functioning smoke alarms, end quote, of liquidity. What Bitcoin has done since October 6th is simply warning that another third quarter 22, first quarter 23, and third quarter 23 has begun. DXY up, stocks down, bonds down, until more liquidity comes once UST market defunctions again. Now, here's the moral of the story there. The amount of liquidity that is normally flowing into the system from all the various revenue streams that the government has access to turn on and turn off, and right now it's off, those are all off. That's the point. They're all off. All of that liquidity that normally just comes flooding into the market because the government can print as much as they want. We're talking about the US government, but it's also true of all other governments. That is not on right now. The streams are cut off. Most of them are not happening. That's why we've seen these dips, because people need money, so they sell. And the long and short of it is, when they turn the government back on, they being the people in charge, and they get, look, you can see right here, before I go into the next tweet, right over on the side there, in the filibuster, people want this to end. They're sick of it. They want the government back on. They want their money back on. No kidding. Well, really? Wow. Oh, interesting. I've got a short coming out later this week that talks about the system being addicted to streams of liquidity. As people are fudding this current situation in the market, and oh, look, Bitcoin dropped to about $100,000 and now it's back over. Boo-boo dropped to $100,000. Can you even imagine of saying something like that 5 years ago? Insane. Dropped. It dropped to 100,000. What? I sound like a crazy person. Well, as all of that's going on, the latest thing that people are crying about is quantum. Quantum, here we go. Quantum will collapse in 2 years. By 2027, quantum computers will hack any wallet, as though that's going to be their number one target. Here's Zero Knowledge Goof commenting on that, saying, so people who were short started posting tons of this quantum slop a few days ago. Clever. Yes, that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that when we are in a downturn, when people are bored, when they're fudding, when they're upset, when they're angry that things aren't going straight up and green, they start finding other things to complain about. And let me tell you what right now. I don't know who you think can make a quantum computer, but it's not Bob in his basement. It is not even Russian bot farms. It's nation state level stuff. And nation states aren't going to be focused on your Bitcoin wallet. So for the near long term, I think you're pretty safe. One of my favorite macro analysis is Roberto Rios. He's a gentleman. I met him. He talked with my dad and I about Bitcoin for about an hour one day, just because he's a swell guy. He said, long-term macro truths trump short-term trading action. Remember that. Those who bought gold and Bitcoin 5 years ago are up massively. Those who bought bonds lost. The message is the same. Time and time and time again. You have got to zoom out. You've got to zoom out. The day-to-day doesn't really matter. Sometimes, yeah, okay, sure, but those days are maybe one out of a year. What matters is the years in the scope of the decades. So zoom out and pay attention to what's happening. We are in the middle of economic change. And right here, this is inarguably some of the biggest news to have come out in the Bitcoin space for a little while now. This is Joe Nakamoto saying, are you ready for Square Bitcoin Day? And that's today, November 10th. On November 10th, today, any Square merchant in the US can opt into accepting Bitcoin. Square has 4 million US merchants. What happens if 0.1% opt in? What happens if 1% opt in? Genuinely huge news. There's a cigar shop that I enjoy going to. It's a wonderful cigar shop. They've got tobacco and pipes and the full spread of stuff. I've paid at that cigar shop at their Square merchant. Actually, come to think of it, there's 2 cigar shops that I like, and both of them have Square merchants. You know what I'm going to be doing when I pop into either one of them? Hey, do you accept Bitcoin? If they say yes, well, look at that. If they say no, I'm going to say, why not? And that will get, at the very least, the conversation started. Oh, I can accept Bitcoin? Huh, interesting. Let me see how that works. Why would I want Bitcoin? Well, because the government can't print Bitcoin, and a multitude of other reasons, which I bet you may know some of the answers to, and I bet some of them you might not. And I bet if you have questions, you might want those questions answered. And where better to get your questions about Bitcoin answered than at the Mining Disrupt Expo? You see how I did that? That is why you've got to get those tickets right here. Get those tickets, scan that QR code or hit the link down below. Get your tickets locked in. We've got a couple, I mean, the before party, the pre-party is going to be kicking off here in about 24 hours, 36 at the end of Tuesday. And then the doors open on Wednesday and we are off to the races. It is going to be a massive one. I hope to see you there, and I'll see you here next week to recap what happened in Dallas and go over all of the sights, the sounds, the happenings, who I met, what happened, and I cannot wait. It's looking like it'll be a big one. Have you seen the speaker lineup? Have you seen who's moderating some of these panels? Hey, it's this guy. I'm moderating at least 2 of them. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I'll see you in Dallas, and I'll see you right here next week. Until then.